Hello, Anna.
Hey David, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, awesome.
How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. It's
Okay.
kind of rainy outside. That
Yeah.
it's not very nice weather, but fine.
Mm. But is
And
it
January
cold?
seems to end. It's about 10 degrees Celsius. I believe it's colder up there in Montreal though.
Yeah, I will trade positions with you any day. It is -20, feels like
Oh,
-25 with wind.
okay,
It's sunny at least, but it is very cold out there.
okay. Wouldn't like to experience that right now.
Well, if ever you come to visit, do not come during the winter time. I would not recommend. Our summer is very nice though.
Depends. Definitely will have that in mind.
All right. Well, we're gonna get started in just a few minutes, but I'll welcome all the early birds that are on time. I always appreciate that when people are punctual. Um, Maybe we can get through the housekeeping stuff first, because that's usually the boring stuff and no one really cares anyways. And then we can dive right in a few minutes to the meat of the presentation, which I'm sure everyone is here for. So let's start with introductions. I am David. I am the marketing manager at Vacation Tracker, and I am joined today by my favorite product person, Anna, who is our product manager at Vacation Tracker. All those requests for features or their wish list usually ends up in front of her, and she ultimately helps guide the product team uh, to making it happen. Or correct me if I'm wrong, Anna. I feel like that's a pretty good description of what you do.
It's very flattering. Thank you, David.
Yeah. So this is office hours. This is our first one of 2026. We're very excited to have you guys here. In this office hours, it's kind of a special one because we will be covering some of the great features we have planned for this year. And of course, we welcome your feedback along the way. You'll notice that you do not have a camera and there is no chat. That is on purpose. You do have these little emoji react buttons that you can see. I'm going to do a little one right now. So by all means, feel free to react. But most importantly, there is a Q&A and a poll section. The Q&A is for you guys to ask questions at any point. We will address them at the end just to keep things consistent and on pace, but we will do our best to answer any and all questions that come in. It could be about current features, new features, or anything that you just want to talk about vacation tracker wise. We will answer your question. The polls are for us to help kind of guide the features and the conversation and just hear your feedback because we take that very seriously here. We are a company that really values customer feedback, and that's how we kind of decide on features. You know, what excites you? What do you think is going to be a benefit to you? So by all means, do answer those polls when I open them up, and I will remind you to answer them. So don't you forget. Um, the other two things I'll mention is that if you were here early, you probably heard the voice, but the webinar is recorded. You will be sent a copy of the recording as soon as the webinar is done. It usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes because it has to do the technology side, has to configure it, has to compress it, whatever, and then it's sent to you. But if you happen to miss the email, we do upload it to our YouTube channel and website, usually a few days later. So you'll have access to that as well. So don't you worry if you feel like you've missed anything. The other thing that will be included in this webinar, or sorry, in the follow-up email, because it was asked about last year, is the slides I'll be presenting today. I know a few people want to go through the slides at their own pace. That will be included in the follow-up email along with the recording, so you'll have everything at your disposal. And I think that just about covers Anna, right? I don't know if I'm missing anything in the.
Well, some of the upcoming features are only in mockups, but that shouldn't
Yes,
be an issue for sending the slides, I guess.
absolutely. And last thing I'll mention, sorry, before we begin, is if you do think of a question or feedback or anything after the fact, do not be shy about reaching out to us at hello@Vacation Tracker. Again, we always welcome your feedback. Or if you want to participate, we have some stuff in beta right now that we'll talk about a bit later. That's going to be exciting. If you want to be part of our beta testing for new features, by all means, we always welcome new customers who want to join. Okay, that was a lot of preamble, but hopefully I think I've covered everything. We are 4 minutes past the start time, so I think I'm going to get started. And if anyone shows up late, they'll just have to catch up, or again, they can watch the recording if they feel like they missed anything. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to ask you, Anna, to confirm that you can see my screen, or everyone else give me a thumbs up. That would be great. And then that lets me know that I am doing this correctly.
Yep. It's visible now.
Love
Okay.
that. Nothing makes me happier when I see a bunch of thumbs up appear on screen, or peace signs for that matter. Okay. 2025. We just closed the chapter on it. It was a very exciting year for Vacation Tracker. We like to do this before we get started with 2026. Just kind of take a look back at some of the features we did release in case you might have missed it or didn't know we can do these things. First off, creating custom holidays. That was a big ask. People want to be able to create these very specialized holidays that may not always appear in the leave laws or are unique to the company, such as the company's founding date, or maybe you guys do a mental health retreat for a week. You can do that now with Vacation Tracker. You have all these custom segs you can see here when you're creating holidays. So that was a big feature for us. And I'm going to point out, if I say anything or I say something incorrectly, please stop me so I don't lead people down the wrong path.
Of course.
Migration, that was another big one. If you want, let's say you signed up with Vacation Tracker on a specific platform, but you want to use it on another one, you can do that now. That's great. And we have a few updates, I think, planned for 2026 involving this, where you can use both. But we'll get to that. But that was a cool feature. I know a lot of people were asking about that as well.
So just a quick note, if you have signed up with an email account, not knowing that we have Microsoft Teams or Slack integrations, but you're using these tools, it'd be awesome if you either migrated or reached out, because those integrations offer a lot. So if you're using any of them, it's easy to switch. You keep all your data that you currently have, and also, future improvements. I'll be talking more about combining those.
Of that. We also had more control when it came to user visibility. This was the visibility manager. I know we released it pretty early on. I don't know if it was 2024, 2025, but we made some significant improvements where you can limit visibility for users, because I know some companies cared about that. So that was another big one. More personalization. You want to be able to see your user emails. You want to be able to have individual work hours and custom schedules. We have implemented that. You can now have users work part-time. You could shift the length of the workday, as you can see here, or you could choose the days of the week, all inside the user profiles, which was great to give more customization. More precision. We revamped. I know some of you might have been upset about this, but we did revamp the reporting section. We find it's a lot better. There's more filters. There's more data you can access. We know it seems like a lot, but you can always toggle off the columns you're not interested in. But yeah, that was a big one, as well as updating the importing tool. So you can import more of your information into Vacation Tracker and use it better to your liking, in a sense. More custom. Who doesn't love customization? So we had even more options to customize with leave request notice periods, in a sense where you can choose what is the minimum amount of time that they have to request leave in advance. Maximum users away. So if you want to limit the amount of users that can take off at any given time, especially good when you have maybe a busy season, but you don't want to implement a blackout period because you still want people to be able to take time off. But you can limit the amount of users based on percentage or number, as well as leave duration limits. Maybe you don't want your team, you have a very generous leave policy, or maybe you run unlimited paid time off, and you don't want everyone to take 6 weeks at a time. You can limit that with the leave duration limit. So again, more customization, really fine-tuned for you guys, for our clients. A cleaner, this was probably my favorite one, honestly, was just a nicer looking dashboard. So a new user dashboard, as you can see here, with more relevant information about your leave, upcoming leaves, the holidays, who's off on your team, as opposed to what was currently there. As a user of Vacation Tracker, because obviously we use that internally, I really appreciate this when I go into my profile just to see who's off when I request leave, as well as just a more cleaner menu and sidebar. So the menu on the left-hand side has been kind of retooled to be a bit more simpler, easier to navigate, as well as the sidebar with some really great information, including the help desk, if you need help with setup, the features, change log, you name it, it was all located there. So I thought that was a really great update. Expanding how leave requests and making it more attuned to how you guys work. So I know we had expanded the leave time selection, because not every leave is very precise. It's not always a full 8 hours or a full 4 hours. Sometimes someone takes off, maybe their schedule 7:45 to 3:45. So being able to select that was great, as well as shorter minimum leave durations, meaning if someone wants to take just a 15-minute break and you guys want to keep track of that, you can do that now with the leave policies. More, again, I hope you're noticing a theme here, but a lot of control, customization. So we had more control when it came to approving and denying leave. So now implementing multi-approval flows where someone comes in, and if you want to go through multiple stages, as opposed to just having one approver. Now you can have a system where someone comes in, they request leave, it goes to, let's say, their first level manager, and then after it gets approved from there, it goes to the director, and then once they approve it, they get their leave request approved. That's a great feature as well as letting leave requests expire. Some people wanted that to have leave requests not expire. They want to keep them open because sometimes people forget and they come back in. So that was another option that we were happy to implement for you guys to give you better control when it comes to leave request approving. And of course, this was highly requested last year, and we did tease it in our webinar last year, but we released a mobile app, which I thought was pretty crazy. I remember we only spoke about it internally, felt like within a few months we had a prototype and then it was launching. So there is a mobile app for Vacation Tracker. If you don't want to have to use Teams or Slack on your phone, you can just get the mobile app for Vacation Tracker, and they're available on both Android and iOS, which is cool. So I thought that was fun. And many, many more changes. I'll go through these quickly because I don't think you guys want to see me read off a list, but just a few highlights for sure was providing language support for Swedish, enabling ghost users. So some people who work with contractors don't want them necessarily in the system, right? But they can create a ghost account with a fake email, updating the help desk center. And there's more improvements coming there as well, which is exciting. Introduced new onboarding instructions, and the list goes on and on and on. Plus a whole bunch of micro bug fixes and small updates that weren't really worth mentioning. But again, we always try to do our best to deliver what you guys want. Okay, so far so good. I feel like I'm going fast, but I'm so excited to talk about all these features.
Thanks, Dave. It's always best when you present things. So I know I have the other section, but it's really great when you do the first one.
Yeah. Before we move on, I'm also going to open the polls before I forget. So there's going to be 2 polls that open up. So please take the time. There's no rush. They'll be open till the end of the webinar, but we always appreciate your feedback. So I'm opening those now, and you can find them in the polls tab in the Zoho webinar here. Okay. Recently released. So as I was compiling this presentation, I realized that in the month of January, we already had some pretty big releases, and I didn't want to have them as part of 2026 because they're already out. So I figured we should talk about these as well, just because they're out right now. So if you want to try them, this was a cool one. I'm a big fan of this. More notifications for this, what we call the watchers section. So there's a lot of companies, right, where you want to notify other people that might not necessarily be part of your department or part of that approval flow, or even external stakeholders if you really want to. So if you enter their email in the department, they will get notified when a leave request is not only approved, but denied or edited. And it's just keeping you in the loop. So like, let's say, for example, I work in marketing, but if I want to know when someone from the product team, like let's say Anna, for example, who I'm not part of that, is taking vacation, just so we can time it better, then I would get notified. Not to say I can deny her request, but it's like, okay, I'll keep that in mind when I'm planning projects or other kind of activities or tasks, and I'll make sure not to schedule anything for her when she's taking time off. So this is a very handy feature, and we're happy to have made improvements to it.
I do have to mention only admins can do this because I know a lot of our users are
very true.
Yeah,
that's a very good point to make. So yeah, thank you for adding that.
No. I just know that our users can sometimes worry about the privacy. So if I asked our admins to add us and they agree, then yeah.
Awesome. This is a big one. We are proud to announce that our integration with ADP is now live after feels like eons on our end because we have to go back and forth and make sure everything was finely tuned. So yes, you can now connect Vacation Tracker with ADP. We do appear in their marketplace, I believe, as well.
We do.
If you need help,
workforce, ADP Workforce, and of course, yes. If our customers need help, please do address our support team at Hello.
Yeah. So that was my next point. I'm sure you're probably gonna need help setting this up because ADP likes to make things complicated, not to take shots at them, but they do. So by all means, please reach out to our support. They'll be excited to help you kind of configure this and make sure everything goes smoothly. And yeah, so you'll find that as an admin. Again, to clarify, you'll find that in your account as an admin, I believe in the add-on section. So you can see that there. All right, this is a cool one too. What we're calling recharge. We're kind of seeing now a shift in trends where companies want to, let's say, take smarter PTO or be smarter when it comes to the data you have when it comes to taking time off. As we know, energy is a finite resource, and to do your best work, you need to be energized. You could be, at your desk every day for 8 hours, but if you're just low energy and you're not focused, then it's not going to be your A+ work. So we're excited to roll this out to everyone, because we did do a little bit of a beta, I believe, in the fall of 2025, but now every account has access to it, users included. Anyone could go to their page, see their energy level, as well as see some smart recommendations, which I thought was really cool. Knowing when, oh, this would be a good time to take time off because you're feeling low energy, or based on the algorithm, it's low energy. This is still a work in progress. We know it's not perfect. You can see even in the photo here, there's a little button that says adjust your energy. So even the algorithm takes your input into account. If you feel like you're less or more energized than what is being shown to you, you can immediately give feedback and it'll automatically recalculate. That's what you can see in this little orange kind of dot there. Try it out. Let us know your feedback. Is this something that interests you? Is this something that you think is cool? I thought it was pretty cool when we announced it. This is one of our, I think, our biggest features we've launched to date, just because of how exciting and different it is. So by all means, let us know what you think of it. As I guess a part 2 to the energy, and kind of more of a fun aspect, learning how you best take time off. So we have a little kind of quiz that you can access as well. And just for fun, just to kind of get the dialogue going, because everyone recharges or takes their PTO differently. And just a fun way to...
I mentioned those 4 types are scientifically based, so they are supposed to be fun, but they do make sense from a science perspective.
Exactly. Yeah. So to be clear, the algorithm is all scientifically based. It's not just someone's whim thinking, oh yeah, this is worth this much or that. Again, still a tweak in progress, but yeah. So like just seeing how you recharge, giving yourself more self-awareness when it comes to not only you, but your team, your employees, right? If you're an admin and you manage vacation tracker, employees can go in, see how they recharge. And again, the ultimate point is to make sure that they're always bringing their A game, their best performance to work, so you can crush your goals, you crush your targets for 2026. Okay. I think this is the part everyone's been excited to see. What is coming in 2026? I'm going to hand off the microphone to Anna here, who's going to take the lead on this. And Anna, please let me know when you want me to switch slides or go through stuff, or however you want to coordinate. Just let me know. I'll be here.
Sure thing. I love the note you put though, because
Absolutely.
oh yeah, the things are moving very fast, so priorities might change. But basically, these are some features that are essentially the idea to show you where we headed. That does not say that we will not add other small features or improvements. So basically, but these, the ones we're going to show you, are basically the features that we're the most excited about and that are definitely going to happen. So majority of them did come directly from our customer feedback and requests, and some of them, like the energy to an extent, are basically our attempt to take a different approach to like solving everyday challenges people face at work, especially managers and employees as well. So we can go to the next slide. It's a huge one. I think.
I think it's pretty cool.
Change anything. So Zapier and Make.com integrations. You have already seen we do have ADP integration, but these actually are something what I believe will take stuff to next level, because it should be a game changer for those teams who want their vacation tracker data and accounts to talk to their other tools and tech stack. So basically, right now, if you want your leave data in a project management tool or your HRS system, you would either be exporting data from our system and then importing and adjusting the files, or you would be manually copy pasting. I have to mention we do have Open API, but it does require some additional technical knowledge. With these integrations, everything will flow automatically. So for example, if a leave gets added inside Vacation Tracker, it will, if you create a Zap, for example, it will automatically trigger an action in your other tools. So whether that's a notification to someone or a row in a spreadsheet, a message in a channel, whatever fits our customers' workflows. you can connect it once, set up the automation and just set up the rules, and it just runs. You can forget about it. And the biggest of all is Zapier integration is already in beta, so it's available. You can start testing it, using it. So if you're interested, please do contact us at the aforementioned email address that we always talk about, and we'll get you all set up. So basically, that's it for these slides.
So just a reminder, the email is hello@vacationtracker.io. If you're interested for the Zapier beta, please reach out because we're more than happy to have people try this out and stress test and see if we're missing anything. All right. This one's music to my ears. Another nice dashboard.
Yeah, we are going to build this one just for you. No, actually, as we did a revamp with dashboard for regular users, we are planning to do one for admins and approvers also. Basically, over the last couple of years, we have introduced a lot of features, and currently jumping between the calendar, the approval queue, the upcoming holidays can probably be tedious. And the idea for the new dash is to have everything in one place. So at a glance, you'll be able to see all this information and even more. So I'm not sure how visible this is, but it has coverage, it has heat maps, it has averages. So, but since we'll be sending the slides to our users, they will be able to see this and give us even more detailed feedback.
I do want to stress this note at the bottom. I know we mentioned it earlier, but these are mock-ups you're seeing for a lot of these things. It may look like this, it may not. Obviously, we reserve the right to change things before we release it, but just so you can get a visual what we're thinking of. And that goes for a few of the other slides you'll see coming up.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for the next one?
Sure.
This one I thought was cool too.
Okay, so this one is basically, David has mentioned my energy page, or how we're gonna call it, recharge module. What we plan to do now is basically give managers, so admins and approvers, basically a bird's eye view of their teams and their team's energy levels. So for those of you using or planning to use the recharge feature, you will be able to see your department energy levels. And I think it's tremendously important that you can spot which teams or employees are running on empty and might need to take some time off before the burnout hits. So basically, this is about being proactive with team health and not reactive. And as David has mentioned, productivity tools are more and more important as the world goes fast as it is going now. So this is one of the things we're trying to help out our customers with, without them specifically asking for it, but like following the trends and such.
Yeah. And if you're a keen observer, you might notice at the top here, there's these different views. So the ultimate goal here, right, as you saw in the previous slide, I'll go back, is there's like a team calendar view, there's an approvals view, and there's also a dashboard view. So you kind of have different ways you can tweak the dashboard depending on what you're looking for. If you want to be more focused on energy and approvals, you can just open to this one. Or if you want to see more of a team calendar view, something you're more accustomed to, you can pin this one. So I think that's pretty exciting as well.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, we can go to the next one. Oh, the birthdays and anniversaries.
And I saw, sorry to interrupt you, Anna, but someone already asked the question from this. So yes, it is coming. It is coming.
It's finally a yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like one of our most highly requested features.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't have much to do with the leave tracking itself, and as simple as it sounds, it can have big impact on one's company's culture, and they like the birthdays. See the applause, and it can be used to show people they matter. So majority of companies are celebrating these Sorry, David. It's just so.
No, it's good. I'm excited to see how excited people are for this. So we're
Yeah,
happy to finally deliver this.
excited. So, majority of companies celebrate these moments, and it can happen that they slip through cracks. So imagine someone hitting their 5-year anniversary mark and nobody notices it. I presume it doesn't feel that great, right? So again, with this feature, you can just set it up once, configure, and forget about it. And reminders will automatically go out via your tool of preference. That is the integration you're using, whether it's Slack, Teams, or you can even choose email for all 4 integrations. Basically, you can pick different time zones when you want these notifications to arrive, and also employees will be able to opt out if they don't want to get the messages. I mean, who doesn't want to get a birthday message? But still,
Yeah.
we have to have this message, this option. Sorry, and then the cool thing for the managers, nobody has to check a spreadsheet anymore after they fill these out.
Yeah. So yes, when I go through the Q&A, but I took a peek before and I couldn't help but smile. So yeah, this is coming this year. Hopefully soon. Can't reveal any dates yet, but
It's Q1.
wow.
Q1,
Wait,
but very soon.
So maybe even in time for my anniversary, because I know my higher data vacation tracker is a Q1, so maybe.
Oh, okay. When's your birthday?
My birthday's in October, so we have plenty of time. That's like
Awesome.
Q4. If it's not released by then, I'm gonna be very upset.
Okay, it will be on your birthday. Kidding.
All right. Next release coming this year. And we talked about this a bit earlier.
Yes, and this is a huge one. So it's not an easy one to tackle from our point of view, but we do understand there is a real need for this. So many of our customers use mixed communication tools, mixed integrations, and perhaps your engineering team lives in Slack, but the sales team uses email, or even even more important, maybe you've got contractors who only have email access. And then right now we know it's a headache. You're managing different setups, different experiences. With this multi-platform feature, you'll be able to connect these different platforms to one vacation tracker account. And everybody will be able to access leave management through the tool they're already using. So same data, same policies, no fragmentation. We are definitely working through final motions to get this thing to start developing. So it will be the majority of requests were mixing up Teams plus email integration, or Teams plus or Slack plus email, but like we plan on building everything our customers may need.
Yes. Very excited for this one as well. Okay, next. Maybe some smaller features, or maybe some stuff that's kind of hard because we don't have any mockups just yet, but maybe you can go through these, Anna, and
Sure.
explain.
Sure, but those mentioned are again highly requested. So additional HR-related fields for users is basically we do have a lot of customers, many customers who have asked for more flexibility in user data, and we do want to enable them to store the data that matters to their organizations. Not all companies need integration with HRIS or full-blown HRIS complex tools, but do need a couple of more pieces of info to be stored. So we do want to enable them that. Probably what we're planning to do is to create some sort of custom fields. So it'd be a text field, a date field, etc. So our customers can store what they need. Linking attachments to leave requests, I think these are probably self-explanatory. So probably if you need to attach documents like doctor's notes for sick leave or something similar to that, you should be able to. Multi-channel notifications are kind of related to multi-platform feature, but what we want to do here is basically allow you to pick your channel of communication. So even though you're using Slack integration, you should still be able to receive notifications that are related to leave requests to your emails. Not talking about watchers there, but all those automated notifications. So what's the next one? Sorry. Custom notifications. Okay. So also highly requested. It's not. It's more of a nice to have, but still, our customers should have somewhat should have control over what their notifications say or look like. Speaking about out of office notifications, leave notifications, and such, Teams notifications, there's a separate section there. So basically, we want to make sure to enable you to match your company's culture, company's tone, include information you may find helpful or remove what doesn't. Allowing buyback for leave. So we currently do have time off in lieu, that is compensatory time off. So you would get, if you worked extra time, you would get days in return. But some companies need basically for a note or something where their users can log over time, and then they can pay them out and put that it was paid out, something like that. Since we're still a leave tracking tool, but this is like a small improvement that could help them track their data. And we plan on a lot of UX improvements for easier onboarding and navigation, because an app always has to be working on making the user flow smoother and the navigation more intuitive. And David knows, he's been digging into onboarding lately. It's not just onboarding for new customers, it's onboarding for users that get added to our existing customers. So things like that will be tackled this year, definitely.
Yeah. I'm sure there's many more features to come, but just we haven't decided on anything else outside of this list, as well as priorities change. But now, of course, we want to hear from you. I know there's a bunch of questions I'm going to go through, but I'm going to open one last poll, just seeing what feature you're most excited about, as well as maybe there's something we haven't talked about, or some feature that you'd be interested in us adding to our roadmap, potentially for this year. Again, no promises about when things get delivered, but we do deliver at some point. It just obviously takes time to come up with these features, getting the team involved, and things change, priorities change. So by all means, share your feedback. I'm going to start going through the questions as they came in. And yeah, so Anna, hoping you could stick around just for a few questions, since could use your help.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we could use the feedback always. So
fantastic. So for the first questions, it was regarding the birthdays and anniversary reminders. They want to know an ETA. So we said Q1. I think that's as far as we'll go with that, but for sure Q1 it'll be released. So you'll have the birthdays and anniversaries. We'll be excited to share. Meryl wants to know, will this webinar be shared? Yes, and you will get an email when this webinar ends. It's usually around 10 to 15 minutes after the webinar. It's an automated email. It'll include the slides as well as the recording. And then again, if you want to rewatch not only just this office hours, but any previous one on our YouTube channel, as well as on our website, there's a section that's webinars, and you'll see the office hours there. Okay, here we go. Next question from Ellie. Another feature we really liked in the old vacation tracker was that in Slack, the who's out this week message showed people's Slack handles instead of full names. It made the message lighter and easier to scan. Right now, the messages feel a bit heavy, and for newer team members, it can feel daunting to scan through so many names, not fully knowing who is out yet, or who is who yet, excuse me. Is this something you'd be able to enable or customize on your end?
Just a sec. So let me read this once again.
No problem. I think this would fall in line, Anna, with the customization of notifications, right? So people can completely customize and maybe return to a format that uses the Slack handles instead of the employee's full name.
Sure thing. So it could be, it's a good feedback. We could definitely add this to our customization feature. Yeah. So thank you, Ali.
Kate, where can you see visibility manager and leave duration limit new to vacation tracker? That is in the add-on section, and I believe only admins can see that section, right, Anna?
Only admins, and there's this difference per plan. So complete plan can have both. Core plan can only have leave duration limit, and then freemium does not have add-ons since those are advanced features.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so to answer your question, Kate, if you're an admin, you can see in the add-on section, you should see all add-ons if you're on the complete plan, because it's part of the plan. If you're on core, I think you only see a few add-ons that are part of the core plan, and then the freemium plan does not have add-ons. Okay. From Sheena, our small company works mostly in Outlook. Is there an alert that can be set up in Vacation Tracker that will alert the approver when a request is made from an employee so it's not missed? I believe so. There should be.
So this depends on the integration they're talking about. I'm not sure whether if they're using Outlook, if they're using email integration or Teams integration. So if it's an email integration, definitely the message will go out once the leave requested, and even the reminders. And for now, if it's just if it's Teams integration, then it will come into a Teams channel. So until we introduce a mix of platforms and email notifications, they can use watchers, I guess.
Okay, fair. So Sheena, to answer your question, if you're integrated directly with email, such as Outlook, you should be getting the notifications automatically. But if you're integrated with, let's say, Slack or Teams, they go to inside that platform. We are working, as Anna said, on the multi-platform use. So you will eventually be able to get those notifications in Outlook. But as a short-term fix, you can use the watchers notification to stay in the loop or have users stay in the loop or sorry, approvers stay in the loop because it was regarding approvers for requests. Okay. Regarding approvals, if we add a secondary approval level, but the primary approver is on leave and has delegated approvals to someone else, so like let's say a substitute approver, does the secondary approval still trigger correctly?
Yes, that's the way it works per design. If you guys have some issues, it'd be great if you could contact our support team.
So yeah, Ellie mentioned that she knows a few potential bugs and want to understand if this is expected behavior or limitation. Sounds like it's a bug, so please contact our support. The logic should follow that if there's a substitute approver because the person is out, it should still follow the same approval flow. Okay, 2 questions regarding recharge, different different spectrums, let's say. Bobby wants to know if you can turn off recharge. I'm imagining there might be a way with feature flags if it's that much of a problem.
There's a way we can definitely do this if a customer wants this. So again, reach out to our support team and we'll have a ticket.
Yeah.
And
Perfect. So Bobby, yes, we can turn it off for you. Just reach out to support and they'll help guide you. Tisa wants to know where you can find recharge. Should be pretty easy to find when you log into your profile. You'll see maybe I can show you on one of these slides. Excuse me for a second here. I have to go back. Okay, no, I was too good about cropping. On your profile in the bottom left, you'll see a little wheel with like your energy level. If you click on that, the menu will pop up and you can go directly to your energy page, and that's where you find all the recharge features. I think that's probably the quickest way to access it, right, Anna?
or when they click on the left-hand menu, in the left-hand menu, they click on my profile, and then there's a shortcut or the little circle. So there's two ways.
Ellie as well as asking about where to find it. Also, I'll give you a little bit of a sneak preview, but we are going to put a little bit of a pop-up that's going to appear probably tomorrow or early next week. I'll describe it in more detail about energy, and then again, you can click on that. It'll take you to your page so you can learn more about it. And again, provide us with feedback. Okay. Will there be an update to have more than one type of leave quota base? We use employment date for vacation and calendar year for sick PTO.
Okay, so this is not the first time I hear about this request. It is being considered. It's being considered. It's just not on the top of our list of priorities because there's not as many companies needing this. If you guys do need this but are not contacting us, please do so we can reprioritize this.
Awesome. Sarah, you want to know how far away we are from implementation? If you can provide what feature it was in regards to, we can try to give you maybe a rough estimate. So we'll come back to that. Our previous PTO tracker calculated the amount of accrued PTO to be paid on a final paycheck when an employee is terminated. Is that something that can be implemented?
So we do have our application does have end date in the user profile. It has to be enabled via the settings by the admin.
Okay.
But it's not something that we can look at in advance, but once the termination date has happened. Again, we could put this to our like discussion point list. Definitely.
Good feedback. Tisa wants to know, as an admin, am I able to view users' energy info? I believe at the moment, no, but the plan is, or yes?
At the moment, no, but
Okay.
yeah, you're right.
But the plan is to have that come out soon. I don't know. I don't want to give it again a date, lest I get banished from the product team and they never talk to me again. But I know that's on the roadmap for sure, as you saw with the energy insights and the dashboard. Because obviously, as a manager or a director or what have you, someone who's in the executive team, it's probably important to know your team, how they're doing, how their energy levels are. So we definitely want to provide with different views and different options there.
So what I can say that it's in a development phase.
Oh, okay.
So they shouldn't wait too long. So these features that we've mentioned are mentioned for the reason that they will happen. I don't want to give out dates, but for the same reason as you, David.
Well, at least you're part of the product team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kidding. Dates are not always. We do not always have exact dates because priorities do change, but soon, coming soon.
That's the theme, soon. Any plans for enhanced customer service availability other than just chat or email back and forth? Sarah, that is a great question. We actually we've been introducing Carmen, who might be in this chat. I think I saw her sign up. I don't know if she actually ended up attending, but she is going to be your account manager essentially. So your go-to person once you've set up vacation tracker and you need maybe more help, more guidance, she would be your point person to talk to. But if you have something in specific in mind, then let us know. Obviously, we try to do these office hours pretty often to give you guys live feedback. There is the chat, there is email. We do setup calls, and now we're introducing Carmen as well as an account manager. I can't say the word account manager. Excuse me. So yeah, and actually, Carmen, if you are watching or listening, please reach out to Sarah because I'm sure she may need some help. Okay, quite a few questions. I'm excited. I see the number keep growing, so we're going to do our best. We have still quite a bit of time, so we're going to try to get through all of this. If an employee wants to cash in time off and be paid out instead of taking the time off, how can we track that in Vacation Tracker? Is that considered the buyback feature that was mentioned in the upcoming features?
Sense, yes. So basically, they won't be able to track payroll or anything like that, but we will create something that will be able to tell them how many days they need to cash out. But sorry, the customer, what was the name? I cannot see the questions.
Cassidy was asking this for the buyback.
So Cassidy, if you have time and are willing to share some feedback of what you might need, please do contact us and we can go through it together.
Fantastic. Okay, Ryan wants to know, is there an easy way to add additional vacation time to a user? For example, the company gives awards of extra vacation days on occasion for jobs well done.
That's something that's being discussed. Currently, they can definitely customize their quotas on user profile, but we do not have notes or such, so they can write out why. But employee reward program is definitely something we're discussing. So again, Ryan, if you're willing to have a little chat, we could use the feedback.
Just to add in, Ryan, there are, depending on the nature of the time off you want to give, we do have seniority-based entitlement. So people who've been at the company for an amount of time, they get extra days off, or role-based entitlement. So let's say specifically for leadership, they get more time than the average employee. You can use those automations found in the add-on section. Or like Anna said, when you go to the user profile, you can edit the quota manually. It's just you won't have a record of what that's for. So if in the future you want to do an audit, you might not necessarily remember what that extra day or a few days is for. But there is workarounds. But if you're looking for something more specific, then take them up. Take Anna up on her call and discuss further. Okay. Next one from Annabelle. In Mexico, there are days that are not official days off, but the platform treats them as mandatory days off. For example, Holy Thursday and Good Friday. Do you have a provision for the platform not to consider them as mandatory days off?
I believe they're talking about holidays, and holidays can be deleted if imported from the library. And also custom holidays can be added. So yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Sorry, I'm going through the questions now because a lot of these are also just feedback. Okay, Lindsay, I'm not sure if this is the place for this. I'd love some guidance on toil, only on the complete plan. Can it be set for the employee to add the overtime to be approved, and then it goes in the bank and they can request that time off? Lindsay, this is the place to ask those questions. Do not be shy. Sorry, Anna, please chime in.
I'm sure you know the answer to this question too, but definitely. So there's two ways to set this up. Time off in lieu. One is if you want to have more control over this, so it's only admins that can add, admins and approvers that can add toil days, but you can also allow employees to request if they have worked overtime, and the toil request will be sent for approval to their manager. So yeah.
Fantastic. And Lindsay, if you need help setting that up, again, reach out to our support team. You can even reach out to Carmen as well, as she's looking. She needs her calendar to be filled up. She's told me so. She's more than happy to help you get this set up in your own account. Okay, Kate, I have added overtime and regular hours. Oh, I'm wondering if that emoji was Carmen because the person was sweating. I have added overtime and regular hours as a leave type. Whenever they submit that, their request expires same day. Is there a way that it won't expire?
Okay, so again, you should probably contact our support team because there are some expiration rule settings inside the leave policy settings. So maybe it has to do with that.
So, Kate, it might be best to reach out to support just so they can see specifically what the issue is. We do, as you saw in the presentation, you can choose to have your leave request not expire, but maybe there's an exception here that we're just not seeing, especially because you mentioned overtime. And I'm not too sure with toil how that works.
Also has options to set expiration dates. But
so there you go. There should be a way then, hopefully. Okay, James, on the calendar view, in order to see partial day leave times, we need to use the list view. Are there plans to add the ability to see the times in the calendar view, possibly by clicking on or hovering over the leave item?
Partial day leave times should be seen as help me, David, with the it's a different color.
A different color. Yeah, so I think he wants to know specifically when you have the calendar view right inside the app. And maybe here I can share my screen. I'll open up the app so it'll be easier for everyone to follow along. So let me know if you can see the platform here, Anna.
So they wouldn't be colored fully, but
so the idea here would be, let's say on Diane Ross, we see yellow and green. If you hover over, maybe you see specifically what time they're gone. If it's like a half day or if it's for like an hour. Because I can imagine if you have 10 users off on the same day, not everyone's going to be off for the full day. You might have some people with partial time off or half days.
So the question was to see the exact time off, if I'm not mistaken, because I cannot see
It's-
the question.
Sorry, yeah. So in order to see partial day leave times, they would have to use some kind of list view. So this one here, right? The list view here, as opposed to just, so you see, this is a great example, like where it says January 9th, you have the hours, as opposed to on just like the calendar, where it's more visually appealing.
To see
You can just
exactly the hour. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so the thing with that is we may consider adding it, but calendar view can get, if there are a lot of leaves at one day, it can get a bit, it can be visually messy to add all of these. The wall chart shows a lot of details. If you
Yeah.
switch to chart view, it shows a lot of details there.
perfect. So
If you,
James,
if you clicked on a date, it
Yeah.
would show in a drawer.
perfect. So James, right now there are no plans, but potentially, we never rule anything out from the roadmap. If you want a bit more of a specialized view, like I was saying, we suggest the wall chart. You can see any given day, and you can see the blocks that way. I think that's partially the reason why we kept the calendar so simple. It's because most people tend to use the wall chart to see that kind of information, at least for now. Sarah wants to know, when do we think the multi-platform option will be available? Not to put you on the spot, Anna.
So that one is a little bit more complex than the other ones. So I wouldn't want to give out the date, but it's definitely this year.
This year. It's the best we can do, but hopefully early half this year.
Of course, we wouldn't be mentioning it if we're so far along. And actually, we plan to work on Teams plus email first because that one has the majority of requests. So
Lindsay wants to also know if we have a limit on personal days for the first half of the year, but then we add an additional amount on July 1st. Is there a way to set that up?
let me just think about it for a moment. Again, they can customize per user, but how the system works right now, it will account for the entire year. So at the moment, no.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be very wrong. If they set up a separate leave type just for personal days and have it reset on a specific date, would that work? Is that a possibility?
Well, reset is per company, not per leave type. So
Okay, so that's fine.
yeah, what they could do is perhaps until we introduce effective dates, they could add toil that wouldn't account to entire year from the January, but it would add a specific number of days, just as a workaround.
Okay, so Lindsay, at the moment, doesn't seem like there's anything, maybe potentially using toil as a workaround, but we'll keep it in consideration for sure. Sorry, I'm going through. Anik, yes, you can ask questions here. So hopefully that was clear as we're going through them. I can see Carmen is in there as well. I'm going to actually just give a shout out because Carmen's in the chat. As the account manager, you can email her directly to set up those appointments, the people I was talking to, or anyone else that's interested that needs more help with, let's say, features or settings. It's quite simple. It's just Carmen. So CARMEN at vacationtracker.io. So if you need help, I'll give you guys, please reach out to her because she would have really appreciated. Okay, next question. We only have a few more minutes. I'll try my best to get through these last ones. And then again, if we don't have time, I apologize, but please reach out to support or to hello@ and send your questions that way because we're always happy to help you. Always happy to help. I can't say that today. It's been too long. I need more coffee. Okay. Half day time off or sick days default for 4 hours. Where can I adjust the time of my request to be an hour?
If you guys are on a complete plan, then leave policy settings could be the feature you're looking for. So less than 4 hours, 1 hour or 15 minutes or half an hour. if that's the question. But the question might be if they request for half day and the full day is not 8 hours. Maybe I'm overcomplicating this. Then it's length to work day or custom work hours.
Gotcha. Okay, so Nicole, in order to have hourly or even like minute tracking you see here, you need to be on the complete plan. So I would verify that first. You can always verify what plan you're on. Just as a note, go to general. Actually, no, sorry, billing. Workspace settings, billing. You'll see at the top what plan you're on, and that'll let you know if you can do this. In the case of, like Anna was saying, if it's where you have a default that is 4 hours, but you want to be able to adjust it, then like she said, you'll have to do some manual workarounds there. Yeah, this person, Cassie, is also echoing that sentiment before with adding a certain amount of days after July 1st. So again, maybe something to keep in mind, Anna, since that's the second time that's mentioned. Someone answered my question. I can't scroll any further, so I think we did it. Job well done, Anna. We do have 5 more minutes, so I'll give a bit of time in case someone wants to sneak in a last question. But I want to thank you all for your patience, for being Vacation Tracker customers, for joining us on this office hours. I know Anna had a great time. She was telling me how excited she was before we started this. So if you want to come back,
I love hearing the feedback. I really do, because it helps me do my job.
Reminders that if you haven't answered the polls, please do so because it does help us. And again, if we didn't get a chance to answer your question or you think of something, don't be shy about reaching out, even through the chat bubble on the platform like you see here with support or an email, what have you, or reaching out directly to Carmen, always great. You will receive the recording and the slides, so you can go through it at your own pace. Just give it a few minutes because the system is slow. And yeah, always a pleasure. You will get an email hopefully for the next office hours. I don't know when. I know we've been discussing internally, kind of shifting the presentation format, the style, but hopefully in the next month or so, you'll have more information on that. And Anna, I'm sorry, I feel like I've been taking over the conversation. Is there anything you would like to add before we close shop?
Actually, can preview the polls, and I'm just looking at what they're most excited about. So no, thanks everyone for the feedback. For any questions that we may haven't answered, please do reach out to us. And if you have feedback or want to go with us through the discovery phase, talk about the features, please do reach out to us. And the Zapier testing.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was going to say. Our CTO would have our heads if we don't mention at least one last time the Zapier beta, because we're all looking for customers who want to try it out. So by all means, reach out to us, or if you want to say hello, we're okay with that too.
Of course, always.
Well, Anna, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being such a fantastic co-host. I think we're going to wrap things up here. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Stay warm if you're in North America with this polar vortex. Hopefully it'll be over soon. I'm looking forward to the snow melting. I cannot wait. And yeah, have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Take care,
Bye.
everyone. Hopefully see you in the next one.